What's up guys, Meredith with AmericanMuscle.com, and today we are checking out this AWE Track Edition axle back exhaust with diamond black tips fitting all 2014 through 2019 C7 Corvette. Now this Track Edition sound profile will be perfect for the exhaust enthusiasts looking for a lot of volume, a lot of aggression, and raw V8 sound for their build in a high quality system that will be sure to catch some eyes with the more stealthy black tips on the back. Now as far as the loudness meter is concerned, this is going to get a 5 out of 5 on the Wake the Neighbor scale, with 1 being stock, which is already pretty throaty thanks to the 6.2, and 5 being Wake the Neighbors loud. So if you're cold starting this in the morning, expect to get some looks. Now this will come with a couple different benefits along with the tough sound that it produces. This system, as you can see, is basically going to be a complete muffler delete, creating a direct and high flow system out of the back of your Corvette, which will increase the volume, toughen up the tone and throatiness of the system, and offer a small performance gain. Now, along with the extra bump in power, now that the mufflers are completely eliminated with this system, you will get some weight savings, which will also help when it comes to your speed if you're counting your curb weight mod for mod. This entire system is made of a 3-inch T304 stainless steel construction, which is top tier materials considering the rust resistance in whatever scenario. So if you do live in the Rust Belt, you're not going to have to question this over its lifespan. Now the system will also be CNC mandrel bent for smooth, well-fitting bends, and will come with high quality welds in the brackets, the tail piping, and the hangers. Now when it comes to the tips, these are going to be 1.5 inches larger than the piping with a 4.5-inch diameter, and will have a quad angle cut dual wall diamond black appearance that will add a very sharp look to the back of your Corvette. Now everything is also included with this, the clamps, brackets, and other required hardware for a perfect fit, which we will show you in just a second. This will be about $1,200, which is on par for pricing for what is included compared to others in the category. Now, not only will it be one of the loudest and more aggressive systems, especially compared to its touring counterpart, but it's also going to have a long-lasting build and a great quality build thanks to the materials used here. Now, it will also take that darker appearance compared to a classic chrome, will set it apart, making it a great choice for your C7 if you want it to stand apart from the rest. This will be a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter for the install, being a little bit more challenging than the average exhaust system, and it should probably take you about 2 hours to get it completely installed. Speaking of the install, one of our customers here has put this on their C7 and is going to walk you through what the process looks like step by step. So that is going to wrap it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and jump into the install.
All right guys, first step, we're gonna be getting some stuff out of the way for us to get that exhaust off. Gonna need a flathead screwdriver. Pull some stuff out probably, we'll see. Phillips head screwdriver, unscrew some bolts, nuts, and then 2 nut drives, 1/4 inch and a 10mm. Show you where those guys go. Hey guys, today we are going to be installing the AWE track exhaust for the C7 Corvette Stingray. Already got mine right here jacked up in the rear. I'll go ahead and show you guys the steps to get off your old exhaust, put on the new one, see how they sound. All right, first step we're gonna be doing here is taking off the license plate. We've got 2 bolts here, or nuts here and here. Take the Phillips head, just unscrew those. Set those aside. We'll need to put that back on at the end. Surprise, surprise. After that, we got 2 bolts here and then 2 here. I'll give you guys a closer look and show you that those come off. But for those, I'll be using the 10mm. We got 2 down here. You can just kind of see them. Right above each of your exhausts, right in the middle, will be 2 bolts hanging just above it. get at, no doubt. Unless you got a longer one than me. Well, that one came off nice and easy. Set these aside where you remember them. And put them with my license plate just so I can keep track. After you get those off, I'll show you these real quick. Got 10 other bolts. Here, 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 and here. Kind of dark, they blend in a little bit. Kind of see them there. Use that 1/4 inch. Three of them. Same as before. I'm gonna keep with my license plate. You guys can store them wherever you need, just to keep track of them. They are tiny. All right, we got 5 more on the other side. Let's go pull those off. Again, we got them here, 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 and here. Now, inside the other side, this one is on there good. My dog, who clearly loves helping me out whenever I work on my cars. Alright, now they got all 5 of these out. We'll go store them with the rest of them, and I'm gonna grab all the stuff ready for the next step. Alright, the next step here, we're going to remove the rest of this rear fender entirely off the back. Now, I already got all these bolts off down here along the bottom and here near the middle. So what we're gonna do, kind of grab down here, give a tug, and this should pop right off. With this off, you can see over here, you got your grills. Go ahead and go along, there's 3 clips. Pull straight out on it, on each one. Pop right off, set that to the side. Now, this part's a little tricky to show you, but it's not hard to do. You'll reach in here, this light bar here, there's 2 clips on each side, or 2 clips total. One right here, one about right here. All you do is push on it, pop that thing out. You reach in, first clip, just like that. Reach over here, give a hand to it, pop and push. There we go, that one out. Now that's out of the way, you'll see a bolt here and a bolt here. We're gonna do that on both sides real quick, and then we're gonna unbolt this and it'll let us take away the whole rear valence. This side we do the same thing. Pull out here a little bit, a little tug. There's clips, they pop right out. It's at 3 clips on this grill piece here. Grab each one, pull straight out. It should pop out without too much resistance, but I'm right-handed, so I use my right. There we go. Just the angle to the side, and again, you got 2 clips behind this rear light. One here, one here. It's no wires. It's just a reflector. Reach in. This time I'll push this one out. There we go. That one out. Bam. Out of the way. Go back to your 10mm here. Got these 4 bolts, like I showed you, and I'll show you them again on the other side. Just gotta unscrew them. Now these ones, I'm not gonna put with the rest of my screws. I'm gonna leave these with my reflectors and with my grill pieces, just so I remember that those go to the valence, and not down here at the bottom of it with the other screws we took out. So I'll come show you that on this side. Again, you got the screw here. You see that? And then one there. Pull those out. Again, I'm gonna take my grill, my reflector, put it on a pile over here, along with these screws so they don't get split up with the rest. After that, I should pull right off. Look at that. There we go. Set this where you won't lose it. This next step, the only tool you're gonna need is a 13mm wrench. Now, this step does depend on your Corvette. Mine is a manual transmission without the NPP. It means I don't have the dual exhaust. If you have the dual exhaust, first of all, you're gonna have 2 cords, one on each side, that you're gonna have to unhook because this exhaust is not an NPP. So you'll set those aside for now and come back to them later. And if you have a automatic, this part you have to shift in neutral to reach some of these bolts. This is what the manual says. I have an automatic, or I have a manual, I don't have to worry about that. Automatics will. But for me, just 13mm, you'll have 2 bolts here. You just see them between your 2 mufflers, right there. Then you're gonna have the hangers here, around each of these. So one on each side up there, one on each side up there. Just gotta take those off. Oh, that's nice and loose. Go. Put these bolts up here, don't lose them. Take 2 off on this side. Again, keep these together just so you don't mix them with anything else. And you got these 2 right between the 2 mufflers. And one more. There you go. That should be nice and loose. Get everything ready. Get the next step and start getting this off. For the next step, you need a deep socket 5/8 wrench. There's gonna be 2 clamps I'm about to show you. We're gonna loosen them up and we're gonna remove the muffler off entirely. First one you can see right here. Just past the muffler, you can kind of see the... All right, this next step, we're gonna actually be taking off the mufflers finally. But to do that, we got 2 clamps we're gonna have to loosen up. One right here, one a little bit over here farther to the side, right there. Only thing you're gonna need here is a 5/8 wrench. So go ahead and loosen those up, pull off these mufflers. By me. Now they don't have to be off entirely, just loosened. Just gotta slide off the pipe. Mine's on there pretty good, huh? There he goes. Get that nice and loose. Make our lives easy as possible. Should be pretty good. Plenty of space in that. Alright. This one. Do the same thing over here. There she goes. That's a little bit better view of this one than that last one. Again, we just want to get it nice and loose. Help us out, pull that off nice and easy. And get the next one installed nice and easy, hopefully too. Loosen that up a little bit. There we go, and we're going to take a look over here as we pull those off. Alright, now that we've got everything unbolted and unclamped, we got one last step here and we'll pull off the mufflers. So this cord here connects to your AFM valves. Got this gray tabby. I pull that up, squeeze, pull this thing out of there. Got one on that side. You got one over on this side. It's gonna be a little difficult to pull out, but simple. After that's done, set you here. We pull out the actual muffler. Now, with everything unbolted, unclamped, and unwired, we're actually take off our mufflers and exhaust from the axle back. This part can take a little bit of wiggling, shimming around until it comes out of the mid pipe and it'll slide off because you're going to snake it out all the way from over the axle itself. So you want to pull these down and kind of shimmy them over. You'll see how it goes. See if I can't climb and get a little bit better view. Show you guys what I'm doing here. Just took a little bit of a lift there in the middle of it. Now, I don't have mine quite high enough to give it that room to snake out. So we're just gonna take a little bit of shimmy and tug in here to get this thing out. Might just have to lift it up higher to get it out. I don't have enough room to drop. I'll lift it up a little bit more and get back to you. Alright, the Corvette raised up a little bit more. Should be able to slide this out. Ooh, and my finger. Do that over here on the other side. Like I figured out, it's a little bit easier. You kind of give it a push here in the middle when you pull it out. There you go. Slides right on out. Now, this is another one of those steps That will vary if your Corvette has the NPP dual exhaust or not. Mine does not, but if yours did, you'd have cords here, and there will be zip ties in the kit that comes with it. And you will zip tie it up to keep it out of the way because it doesn't use NPP or dual exhaust anymore. Now, with the old exhaust removed, next step, along with your kit, you have this heat wrap. You're to cut it in half. You're gonna take it and wrap your transmission lines. So I'm gonna show you that next. While we got everything off, I'll go ahead and show you. This is your old exhaust over here, muffler, tubes, everything. Over here, got your new piping that'll go over the axle. This is to the tips, and these are your new tips. You get all installed and thrown on there. Now, depending on your model of Corvette, you should have two lines right here that are braided wire from your transmission. When you have those here, you'll take this heat wrap and wrap it around it. Mine does not, it's just a base. All right, now that we got the muffler and everything off and got everything heat wrapped, our next step here is going to go back to our old exhaust system. We got these AFM valves. We're going to go ahead and unhook those on each one. Oh, so you're going to need a 5/16 wrench, by the way. Got a 5/16 wrench. This is a little small. Pop that in there. Now, once you got this off, take a torque bit. Take this off right here, we're gonna flip it. To get that off, all you're gonna do is flip it over, slide it back on the nut, and then bolt it back in, screw it back in. Now it does sit kind of particularly, so make sure you get it on the right. There you go, should look like that. Now, keep track of these bolts you took off because you will need them again. Set this aside. Got my other one right here. Just kind of see it. Unbolt that and get that off of there. Again, this could be too big to fit in here. So go ahead and grab the regular 5/16 wrench, unbolt that. Same deal here. Get that bolt out, screw. Flip it over, put that screw back in, tighten it down. There we go. Again, safety's hardware as well, set aside, and get going. This next step here, we're going to go ahead and finish off the AFM valves. So you got two of these in your kit. Going to take them, the valves we just fixed, just place it right over top. Now you want it so if this spins, this will stop it. It'll hold it in place. So you're going to want these arms sticking out like that. Now with these screws we kept in the last step when we took them off, we're going to attach them in the same spots. Let me get all of them in, and then I'll tighten them all down. Once we get these on, all that's left is to hook them back up and attach them to the car with the zip ties, cable ties that came in the kit. Again, just tighten them down. Like that. Alright, to do this other one here. Find the screws I have. Again, you're going to take it. We want these arms here facing out. And it's going to stop this thing from spinning. Set it there. Throw that on top. Go ahead and drop these bolts back in. Tighten those down. Tight. You got both these ready. We're gonna go ahead and attach them back on. Now, earlier you got these two cord gray tabs that you unhooked from these. You're to go ahead, hook them back in. Get them in there to the click. Lock that tab back down. You're gonna take a cable tie, stuff it up here the best you can. And then on the edge of this wrap tube right here, you're just gonna run it in. Strap it on the best you can. You're good. Take this, do it on the other side. Same thing again. You're gonna hook that cord right back in there till it clicks. Go. Push that gray tab back down and lock it in. Just for that extra security. Go. Take a cable tie. Run it on in. Stuff it up. And wrap it around that wrap tube. At this point, you can shorten that if you want. Clip off that end. Make it nice and neat, but make sure they are tight and holding steady. Feel free to adjust them if you need to. After that, we're gonna go ahead and start attaching our pipes here over the axle back to the mid pipe. All right, guys, one thing I wanna say here real quick, so you don't make the same mistake I did with the track exhaust. I'm not sure about the Touring. Track exhaust, it has the driver's side listed as 85 and the driver's side listed as 89, but the diagram has 85 paired up with 90 instead, which would be the passenger side. So I did install it backwards at first. So make sure you guys do it to follow this and not the description, because the passenger side is going to be 86 for the over axle, and then passenger side will be 90 for the axle back. Same goes for driver's side is going to be 85, and the over axle back is going to be 89. So the diagram is switched for the track. So keep that in mind, because I did mess that up. There we go. before. It'll take a little bit of wiggling. Get it shimmied in there correctly. The other way, here we go. And go. Now I'll go ahead and show you under it as well. Alright, now that we got those pipes slid over the axle and back towards the mid pipe, all you gotta do, shimmy them around until they squeeze back in. Once you get them in, it's just simple as squeezing down to that bump. And this part does take a lot of shimmying. I went ahead and got the passenger side done already. That one was much more difficult. I think it might just be the clearance with the differential though. Has to be a very perfect fit. So take a good bit of wiggling. That's all right, it's worth it. We want to get that nice and snug in there. We don't want any exhaust leak. Keep pushing down, down, down. All right. Once you got that secured on there, you're gonna go back to your 5/8. Tighten that clamp back down. Got that one tightened. Going to come back over to the passenger side here. Make sure it's nice and snug. And then we're going to do the same thing. Throw that on. Bolt, your washer. And then throw that nut over it. Same thing as before. Take that 5/8. Just tighten it down. Alright, here we go, back to the back of it. So next step, you still have these hangers on the old exhaust. Go ahead and give those a tug and pull those off. Not too difficult. Then go ahead and grab the clamps that came with the kit. Going to take your new exhaust here. Throw those hangers right on there. They should slide pretty easy. And then the end of the pipe here, you're to go ahead, throw that clamp over the end. Might have to loosen it up a little bit, shouldn't be too much. Same thing though, same 5/8. Loosen it down. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and put that clamp back on. Definitely don't tighten it all the way down. I just want it on for later. Drop the washer in there. Alright, now that you got those hangers moved over to your new exhaust, take these clamps, squeeze it on over the new pipe here. There you go. Do the same thing on the other one. I'll show you that again. Take the new pipe, install the hanger on it, put it over, clamp, meet on over. Now we get everything ready, throw it on the car. All right guys, now that we have the correct over axle pipes connected and you've got your clamps and hangers attached on your axle back pieces, we're gonna go ahead and put B90 on the passenger side. So slide that on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the hangers first to kind of hold it in place while I work on it. The instructions want you to do the clamps first. I don't think this will help me hold it all together. Definitely don't tighten them all the way down, just enough to kind of, again, hold it in place while you get your clamp done correctly. That clamp we threw on there to help connect the over axle pipe and the axle back pipe. So I'm just gonna put one in, just hold it in place. And then you're gonna get your wrench with the 5/8, which I set over here. Make sure everything's lined up. Now you want that clamp to meet just where the two meet, right at the edge. And then get that nice and tight. So let's go ahead and get that on there. Grab my wrench over here. You have to make sure it's on there nice and good. You don't want any exhaust leak, anything slipping out here. There you go. Get that up there nice and good. Got that up there. Go ahead and tighten it down. Now this step says it wants at least minimum 60 pounds of torque applied. You want to go over that, but like I said, minimum. If you don't have a torque wrench, just make sure you get it nice and tight. You want this held together well because there will be a lot of vibration here from your exhaust system. With that on there, that clamp nice and secured, we're gonna go ahead, tighten down our hangers on this side. Get that in there. Let me go ahead and grab the wrench for these hangers as well. Go find a wrench I use for this. All right, the socket size we were using for the hanger bolts here earlier was a 13 millimeter. Go ahead and tighten those down. Add some lighting in here for you guys. That nice and tight. Let's go ahead and get the axle back piping on the driver's side. Now the driver's side, we're going to put on the 89. Do the same thing here where I'm going to get one of the hangers on first to hold that in place while I kind of slide it on there. Oh, put it on backwards. Get one of these hanger bolts in. Again, not all the way tight, just enough to support it while I get that bolt in there, get the clamp on. Again, when you go back to the clamp, you're going to go back to that 5/8 size wrench. Grab that. And again, deep socket one will help you out a lot. Just got that on there. Slide that clamp where the two meet again. Slide over to this side. go. Got that on good. Now tighten it down. Once you got that on, go ahead and switch back over. Got 13, and tighten down your hanger bolts. Got the second bolt in there. Yeah, make more sense getting both in before you tighten it down, I guess. Tighten those down. Right, just got both those up there. Got one other thing here, the plate, and then we're going to go ahead and reinstall our rear valence. After we install the rear valence, we'll put on our exhaust tips. So let me grab another rear valence here, or the exhaust plate. This comes with all its own mounting hardware, so you didn't need the ones from earlier. So you got a nice AWE plate right there. Right here between the two exhausts where they meet, install these in there. Put a screw through the front, nut through the back, and screw them together. There you go. Take a little bit of adjustment and just slide them together. Got one. Here it is. Those nuts on the back of it, hold it all together. Got that one bolt I dropped here real quick. Right on through. Tighten all this down. And I'll grab the wrench size to hold that in. Which is still the 13mm. So just put a little bit of pressure on the front, tighten that down best you can. Doesn't have to be rock solid. Alright, now we get that rear valence back on here. Alright, go ahead and slide that in where it fit earlier. It's all just plastic clips, so just line it up, push it in. Now we'll do everything backwards from the way we did it before. So we'll go ahead and install our light reflectors here real quick. Well, actually, I should install the bolts that were up here first. 2 on each side. Again, this should be, another 2 bolts on over here. These will be back on our 10mm socket. Go ahead and tighten those in there. one up here. Throw that light reflector back in. Seems better. Alright, we'll go ahead and install these two bolts on the other side. Show you that. Same thing over here, you've got two bolts here and here. Pretty hard to see, the black on black. That bolt in there. Got those in there. We'll go ahead and pop in our side grill vents again. Just clips, pop them on in. There you go. Same thing on the other side. Line the clips. And upside down. And those push it, snap it in. This one, let's see if I can double check again. On that first, yes, there we go. There we go, that's good. Go and clip this light in. Light reflector. Upside down, I think. There it goes. Alright, then we got all these little bolts we have to reinstall. All along the bottom. Same one, again, same thing we did earlier. Should be 5 on each side. 3, 4, 2 here, and I got the rest of it here. 4, 5, 4, 5. Awesome. Again, this one will be back to your 1/4 inch. That 1/4 inch drive, I'll get those in there. Good idea what you're doing. Now this has to line up through a little cloth and metal piece in here. But it's pretty easy to do that. There we go. Keeps that up nice and tight. Got another one that's the same thing. Oh, not the right bolt. Grab one of these, do the same thing. Tighten it down. Tighten that. Grab your next 3. And this one over there, so grab that. Away from it. You got 1, 2, and 3 here. You got all things you did earlier. take it, go do it on the other side. All right, we got our 5 bolts. So go ahead and install these here, 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 and here. Make sure this is clipped in the way it's supposed to be. And get that 1/4-inch drive. Let's get 2 of these in. Again, this one has to go through a piece of cloth and into a little metal brace. Not hard to line up, easier to be grounded. Just make sure you do it. There we go. Got that bolt in. Put the rest right here. Tighten that down. Really good. Put that back in. We got these 3 ones right here at the edge. All right, those installed. We got 4 more bolts for the balancer to take a look at. All right, next 2 bolts you got down here, the valence right above the exhaust. 3 bolts, get the valence in place. Just kind of tighten in for now. Get everything lined up. And put the silver one in. Now these should be back on the 10mm socket. Very good. Right up here and here. Tighten those down. This step, you can go ahead and reinstall your license plate. I'll do mine after. Now we're going to install our exhaust tips. Set 2 down here. We'll do 2 first, do the other 2 after. And they should have come with their own mounting hardware. Let me grab that. Alright, for this last step, the mounting hardware that comes with the tips in its own bag. You'll need a 12mm socket. So go ahead, slide that tip on. And you'll have a bolt and a nut for each one. Slide that through. throw the next one on. Get the bolt started first. Throw a nut on that. Best you can. Tighten this one down. This one's a bit more room, which is nice. This way, though. And this way. Alright. Grab the next two tips. Got our last two tips here to throw on. Put the bolt on first. Start throwing the nut. Right. Get this last one on. This one that way. Get these both threaded on. Right. Everything bolted on, squared away. Throw your plate on. You're good. Enjoy the new exhaust.
So that is going to wrap it up for my review and the install of the AWE Track Edition axle back exhaust with diamond black tips fitting all 2014 through 2019 C7 Corvettes. And you can find this right here at AmericanMuscle.com.